A lot of you have been really anticipating this video for quite some time, and today I'm so excited to really talk about this and to tell you my experience about experiencing Lilith. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lilith Lyons. I'm a psychic medium, a near-death experiencer, and a demonologist. Today, my demon dealers, which means demonologists, we don't worship demons, we fight them out. So, demon dealers, today I want to talk to you guys about Lilith. Okay, so let's be real. I don't know a whole lot about Lilith. Personally, as a psychic, when I meet souls, I like to not go by what the books say or what other people say. I like to meet people or souls and understand them from a personal perspective and experience. And it sucks when that happens because I learned the hard way about certain souls. But it's a very powerful experience for me, as well as it's very educational, and it allows me to have more knowledge from the experience. When I met Lilith, it was very unexpected. Lilith is a fallen angel. When I encountered Lilith, it was during the time when I was also still encountering Lucifer, who is a fallen angel. Lucifer is not Satan. I learned this the hard way as well. Lucifer worships Satan, but Satan is a whole other bag of beans all by himself, and he's extremely negative. He's one of the worst devils you could ever encounter. There are other devils in the universe, but Satan is definitely one of the most powerful that I've ever encountered. We will talk more about that in another video. But when I did encounter Lucifer, I had mentioned at one point about Lilith. And he said, oh yeah, Lilith, no, she's absolutely wonderful. And he was talking positively about her. And eventually, she showed up. It was really unexpected. It was very weird, to be fully honest with you. It was very awkward, but it was quite uncomfortable. The second she was in my presence, she was very, very dark, very, very dark, and she was very tall. In fact, I'm going to show you a picture of what she similarly looked like in the moment when I met her. Lilith has so much power. There is no doubt, but she's also a fallen angel. And what that means for people that are learning from me for the first time, fallen angels are a real thing from the Bible. However, it doesn't mean that God kicked them out of heaven. This is completely false. Fallen angels, as all angels, have their free will choice to follow and do what they decide. And this is true for all beings. So not all angels are good and not all angels are bad. And there's that argument about people saying, well, that should be the same about demons. It's not the same about demons. I've met way too many demons to know that that's absolutely not true. When it comes to fallen angels, they chose to basically fall from their shortcomings. They fell. Basically, they no longer are higher vibrational beings and they went to lower vibrations, which means they are more earthbound. So there is a lot of truth in the Bible based on those experiences from what the testimonies and gospels say. I've never read the scriptures of Lilith herself, but I do know that she does exist. She is indeed very powerful. She is very beautiful, but she's very, very dark and negative. And when I say beautiful, I mean she has beautiful features, beautiful face, beautiful voice. But the second I saw her, it was actually out in my hall. And when I saw her, she was very tall, very slender, very, very feminine. And she had a staff. I'm not gonna lie, she almost reminded me of Maleficent, but a lot scarier. And she didn't have horns, she had hair. She did have horns at one point, but then she would change her appearance. And for the most part, she likes to keep her hair up and maybe some hair down, but she can change her appearance. No angel or any entity is limited to how they choose to appear. What I do remember is when I was talking with Lilith and I started asking her questions, the first thing that I noticed was she was very egotistical and she had a lot of negative vibrational feedback. The way she spoke to me was as if I was below her. I mean, yeah, I'm short and whatnot, and this was a moment where I was on the astral realm, and when she was here, she also had other demons with her. I kid you not. She had succubus with her, and it really confused me. I was like, can you hold on a minute? And she was like, okay. And I go and I ask Lucifer, and like I said, if you're new to this video or this channel, I do not worship Lucifer. This was a backstory of how I encountered Lucifer and during some of my time when I spoke to him. But that was when I was trying to really see Lucifer for who he was and really get to know him. But do I agree with Lucifer? Do I follow Lucifer? Absolutely not. I'm adamant about that. He's very negative, he's very egotistical, and he does have a lot of pride. That's probably his biggest issue. But when I spoke to him and I asked him, is this really Lilith? Like Lilith from the Bible? And he said, yeah. I said, and he was like, you're confused. And I was like, yeah, I don't understand why she's so dark. Why is she so dark? And she heard me, and then she went, what's wrong with being dark? There's a lot of beauty in dark, is there not? And I said, yes, of course there is, because we're both dark and light. I mean, I love the color black, I love red, I love purples, I love blues, I love all kinds of colors. But she was completely black. The second when she was in my vicinity, her negative energy was permeating, and she was very, very powerful at the same time though. And don't get me wrong, she wasn't threatening. She actually felt above that. She knows when to choose her battles, and I actually admire her for that. She doesn't let that, like all the other opinions about her, affect her personally. She has a lot of maturity and a lot of ascension experiences, but at the same time, her being a fallen angel, she has come to this ideology that she believes in woman feminism, empowerment for women, and I thought, oh, that's great. But she would even tell me about how she believes that you know, succubus aren't evil. And I went, well, what? And she was like, well, they're just as misunderstood beings as I am. And I was like, no, they're not. Have you seen those things over there? I was actually like dumbfounded by what she was saying. It really did surprised me, but the more I was listening to her, I was really trying to just understand. And again, this was just a conversation. I did have other guides with me at some point, and I was still safe. Nothing happened. She never attacked me. She was very respectful, but was she positive by nature of her, you know, natural, organic personality? No, she was very negative vibration. In fact, she drained the hell out of me. She really did. But at the same time, she was enlightening. I mean, I even did agree with her. I was like, no, I do believe women empowerment is important. I do believe that women should have more of a rising energy. And we talked heavily about that quite briefly, but we did get deep into it. And I think we spoke for about maybe 30 minutes, 40 minutes, not for very long. She was probably one of the shortest encounters, spiritual encounters that I've had, and I haven't seen her since. I do feel like she might be here, because ironically, I actually did have a major hot flash right before filming. I was actually in the middle of filming and I got a super hot flash, and when that happens, that usually means Lucifer's around. That happens. So he might be around even now, because when I do talk about these entities, they like to pop up. Has Lucifer ever personally attacked me? No, not once. And I am always grateful for that. However, there was a point in time where he was under Satan's spell, and that's a very other story that I will heavily talk about. And he did attack me. He was not himself, and I don't even think he remembers it, to be quite honest with you. That's the tragedy about these entities, is they believe that when they're fallen, they think that they're rebelling, you know, that they're making their own decisions, and that's all good. I highly agree. But when you decide in your soul frequency to lower your standards of your own energy frequency, you are lowering your self-quality, you are lowering your self-worth, you are lowering yourself to a standard that's very low energetically. And this becomes a problem, because as you move through your universal experiences, it can make or break you. It can make you have very negative impressions from other beings. And this is why it's so important that we do not follow fallen angels and do not trust them. I've encountered fallen angels many times recently in the past year and a half. And some of you may be saying, how is it only that? Well, I just never encountered them before until now. And I refuse to talk about spirits that I've not personally met yet. That's a big rule for me. So that way I am fair in my judgment, and I am fair in my critical analysis of energy and of spiritual notes that I make in many ways. So this encounter wasn't bad, but it wasn't good. In fact, one of the other things that I couldn't help but notice was that Lilith is a lot like a madam. Okay, so she's a lot like a pimp for these succubus. I couldn't help but notice that. She would tell them what to do, what to wear, who to be with, and it was very uncomfortable to watch. I was even flabbergasted by that. I even looked at her and I was like, are you a madam? And she was like, that's not really what I like to say, but particularly I was like, oh, you're a pimp. And she was like, no, it was weird. It was like she wanted to say she was a madam. It was interesting. You can tell when you have these conversations with these spirits that they don't want to be forthright. They don't want to be forthcoming. They like to play around and literally go around in circles and not really answer your questions, especially if it challenges their integrity energetically. So this is, or their moral compass, that's the other one. So this is my feedback on Lilith. This is really all I have for you. I know that you guys have been asking me for a long time, for a while, and I had made a promise to you and I wanted to keep my promise. So I hope this gives you some answers based on Lilith. There are many other psychic mediums that do follow Lilith, and witches follow Lilith. There's a lot of people that even say that Lilith is also based on astrology. My honest opinion from psychic experiences with Lilith is, from what I can tell, she was very good at spreading the word to make it sound like that it's all about ascension and helping women ascend. But this is a total lie. She likes to keep women compressed in their little boxes, tell them what to do. She's the exact opposite of all of those things. I have absolute confidence in this answer. And it's really disappointing, because when I saw her as an angel, I was blown away. Like, she actually at one point did show me what she originally looked like before she had fallen. That's the hard part, is because she looked like a goddess. Like, she looks so unbelievably beautiful, and she really has a beautiful voice, beautiful eyes, her hair. I'm jealous a little bit, but when she came to me originally, however, she was not that way at all. She was very dark, very negative. She had this condescending attitude towards me. That was discomforting to me too, because usually angels are not that way. Me personally, I like to stay away from the phrase Lilith when it comes to even astrology. That's just the way that I am, because one of the biggest things that really did stick out was that as she was talking about her name and astrology, I started to put the two and two together, that she was very good at manipulating astrology through her time of ascension and through falling. So she was able to manipulate that with other psychics, and that's how it basically spread like wildfire to fool people that the name Lilith is okay even in astrology. Whether people believe me or not, frankly, that's not my concern. I really don't care what negative opinions someone may have. And if you choose to worship fallen angels or demons, that is at your own discretion, that is at your own risk. But I do not support this, so I just highly advise that you be wary and stay clear from these types of spirits. So this is my story based on meeting Lilith and what it was like. It wasn't really very long, but it really was a moment that I'll never forget. So I wish you guys love and light. Thank you for watching. If you have any thoughts, questions, concerns, or ideas, you know where to go. But if you need help with paranormal advisory, you can always go to my website at lastfrontiermedium.com. Don't forget, I also have books available on my website also and available on Amazon. Demons and Familiars, A Contemporary Guide to Demonology, and Demon Dealer, A Demonologist's Sinister Journey. So I wish you guys love and light. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.